Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com, and today we are going to go over how to trade McDonald's stock. Their ticker symbol's MCD. Pretty interesting. They've been going pretty much straight up for a good while now, and so there's a couple trade steps I want to show, going over the daily chart, the weekly chart, plus a parabolic curve. So we'll jump right into it. So right here we're looking at a weekly chart. Now this video is going to go along with that blog post right here that I have right here. And so, but one of the differences is when I was doing the video tonight, this is a day later after the post came up, I moved out a little bit further. Instead of doing the daily chart for the parabolic curve, this is the weekly chart right here. So this is gonna be a little bit different than what's in the blog post for it. So just another advantage of watching the video, because as I zoomed out for a little bit more, I just saw that there's a greater impetus for this curve right here. But the thing about parabolic curves is that they are subjective, just based upon who's drawing it. So the one thing I do try to look for is try to get as many touches as possible. And here, I mean, this curve has just been like even greater than a 45-degree angle once it hits this little point right in here. Now it's going up to like a, I don't know, 15-degree angle. It's just crazy how pretty much straight up it's been. Because I mean, even back in the recession, back in 2009, the financial collapse, I mean, they were up at about 67, and then went down all the way to only about $45, and then they just rocketed on. So they weren't affected, nearly as badly as other companies up there. So if this high up here holds, which is around $220-ish, something like that, then this parabolic curve break does become valid. But the thing I look for in parabolic curve is once it gets broken, assuming this is the correct drawing of a parabolic curve, once it gets broken, the target we're looking for is the 50% retracement level, and that's the red line down there. I'll draw a little box right here at the red line right there, down to the 78.6. So when price breaks this parabolic curve somewhere, again, assuming the $220 is going to remain as the valid swing high up there, then we're looking for the exit for this parabolic curve to consider to be complete down here at $116.14, around there or so, give or take a couple dollars. That's going to be the general area. Then the second area we'd look for would be the 78.6% level at around $56, $57, somewhere around there. Price doesn't always go down to the 78.6 level when the parabolic curve is broken. That definitely can be a target, but the main one we're looking for is the 50%. So if this high remains the same, then that's about the area we're going to look for retracement to come down to around to the $116. So around the teens, the $100 teen level is what we're looking for that when it happens. And so we will go now into the daily chart. There's two setups I want to show here real quick. This is going to be the 823.6% short trade. Let me just try to get this as accurate as possible. And again, this goes in the blog post that this goes to. Low we're looking at down here, 110.33, good. High up there, 114.15. Can't see what that is. Let's see, 51, perfect. All right. So what this trade sets up right here is, again, this is a daily chart, so this will be a little while. So the first entry for this trade is the negative 7.236, which correlates to the 823.6 Fibonacci extension level right here. So that's the first entry. When that happens, then the exit goes down to the negative 4.236. I'll just draw the bottom of my green box, which is off the yellow line, which equates to the 523.6 Fibonacci extension level. As you can see, in price at 144.6, it didn't retrace down here at all, just kept on going straight up. So then the second and final entry, when that happens, when this exit doesn't get hit down here, the second entry is going to be up here at the negative 21.236% level, and that is equivalent to the 2,223.6% Fibonacci extension level. And so that's where we're at now. So price come up here and hit that. So then the exit moves up to the negative 7.236 level at $144.66. If I was shorting this stock right here, which I'm not, like I said in a blog post I'm working on today about 10 undervalued stocks based upon my technical analysis. I hate shorting stocks. I just do not like doing it. That's the one thing I do not short. I short futures, I short Forex, cryptos, but for stocks, I don't do it. I just hate it for some reason. But this is a perfectly valid short trade based upon the setup right here. So the exit we're looking for, price currently at about $199. When I did this yesterday, it was around $200, so it went down a little bit more today. But exit we're looking for down here is around $144, $145. I always make sure I get out a little bit early just to ensure I get filled, because I have seen plenty of times the exit come down, barely take this exit, and then pop back up. Would be enough to complete the trade, because the price line gets hit, but not enough contracts would have gotten traded to get you out of the trade. So that's why if I was in this trade, my exit would probably be somewhere about $146.50, $147 level right there, especially if I was looking at getting right now $109. You'll be in plenty of profits. So always just make sure get out, get that profit, and then move on to the next trade. So that is the short trade for the McDonald's right here. And then if price continues to go up right here, that's fine. This exit is not going to change from down here, which is about $145. One thing I like to look for is see just what the trend's looking like right here, and then look for that trend break, and that's a pretty good trend line right there, something like that. You can see price today, let me get it a little bit straighter here real quick. You can see price is kind of rested on it today, so we're definitely at kind of like a pretty interesting level right here to see if price is going to break this trend line. And then one thing I look for is for a trend line break to see if the direction has changed. This doesn't always work, but this is what I look for, is look for a break, and then I look for a retracement back up to the trend line somewhere. I'm not sure where it's going to go. We'll just use this number right here, about 206 right there. That would actually, we'll say about right up here, because you see this big gap right here that got created. Definitely look for that to get filled right there, from about 205.15 to about 208.32. So I'd be looking for a break in the trend line, and then a retracement back up to at least around $208.75. And then once that happens, then start thinking about a retracement back down somewhere like that. Not saying guarantee that's going to happen, but that's just one thing I look for when a trend line break happens for that, especially since you have that gap, which is probably going to look to be get filled. So we'll go now, and let me take this stuff off the screen here, and we're going to go look at the 1 hour chart, and we're going to look at a long setup we have here. So here we go. Here is the 1 hour long trade setup for McDonald's. Down here we have the, it's that low, 109.26, 109.30. I'll get that a little bit closer. 6, perfect. Up here, the high, we got 206.32, so we'll drop that down a little bit. I think that's the high right there. What's that high? 206.36, perfect. All right, so that will be that, and then we will, you can see price come down and hit the 70.6. That's what initiates the trade right there, or gets on my lookout meter. Then it has to come up and hit the 1.236 or 123.6 Fibonacci extension level, which it did right here. So that signifies the trade. So then what I do is I just draw this anchor point up here to wherever the swing high ends up being, which it ends up being right about here, which that high is 221.93, 201.04. That's good. And so now what we're looking for is we're just waiting for the 78.6 line down here at about 204.11 to get hit, and that will enter us in the trade. And there it goes. So price, let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see this trade. Price came out, hit it, has a big gap that I just mentioned a second ago in the daily chart. Created a big gap right here, so definitely looking for this gap to come get filled. And actually there's another one on the hourly chart up here between 215.64 to 17.23 right there as well. So 2 gaps now going down the downside, looking to come up and get filled here. So but currently, so anyways, when price hit the 78.6, the exit we're looking for is the 50% level. Obviously that didn't happen, so then price came down and hit the 100% level at about 199, 199, what is that, 25, 26. So that moves the exit to the 78.6, which will be about 204.11. And if you want to get out, make sure you can get out. I'd have about 203.75, something like that. So that's currently where we are with this trade, where this blue box signifies it. And then secondly, if price continues to just go on all the way down here to 162.56, then that would be your next entry level right here, and that would move the exit to the 100% level. And just to make sure you'd be able to get out of it, about 198.50 or even 198, but definitely a little bit lower than the 100% level, just to ensure you get out. So that's where the exit would move. if price, let me just draw an arrow, say just price tanks all the way down here, then that would move the, and that you would get in right here, another entry, and then your exit move right here to the top of the blue box right there. So that's if that happens. This is a stock I am putting on my radar specifically for this setup right here. If it does, tank down, in my article I mentioned about how some news came out recently with McDonald's. They had disappointing quarters here based over here in the US, so we'll see if that's going to carry on, because as you can see up here from the weekly chart, I mean, it's been pretty much a straight shoot. It's been crazy ever since, what's that, May of 03, when it's down here around $13, $14. Now about 16 years later, it's up here. Well, it was up around 220. Now it's around $200. Hey, still, that's amazing. That is a really, really strong run. Amazing run for McDonald's. Good for them. So that's why I'm hoping that price does not go back up and hit around 204 to get us out of this trade. I hope it tanks all the way down 162.56, and even if it starts getting like halfway between 180s or something like that, I will probably start nibbling on the stock, getting in a little bit. Definitely get in down here on 162.56, and then then my exit would be up here around 198, 198.50, looking to get out. But if price continues to go down lower, hey, that's fine as well. The exit doesn't move. All it does is it would get me in at better prices for McDonald's stock. So that's what we have for McDonald's today. We got the 1 hour long right here, then we got the daily short, and then that parabolic curve. Just something to consider if price continues to go down and breaks that parabolic curve. So anyways, that's McDonald's. I have a new post coming out hopefully tomorrow. I'm about halfway done with it now. 10 undervalued stocks for 2019. It's based on a Money Inc. article. I'm using my technical analysis to see, based upon any long or short setups, that those stocks are going over right now. I'll have a blog post up again, hopefully tomorrow, and a video to go along with it, just to hope better, clarify what I'm trying to express in the blogs, because I know sometimes the way I type, the way the pictures come out, things like that is not as clear as I want it to be. So I hope these videos help clarify the entries and exits and just my thought process behind them based upon the trade setups that I use, because these two trade setups, the 78.6 and the 823.6 setups, are ones I use in my trading right now. They're pretty much the only two. Sometimes I look for another one called a springboard trade setup, but these are the two main ones I use about 98% of the time for my stocks, futures, forex, and cryptos tradings. So that's it today. This is McDonald's stock. If you want to see anything else, just put a message below, like the video, and be glad to go over if it's tradable. I will be glad to cover it. All right, thanks. Have a good one. Bye.